So we are done with the waveguides part, that is the rectangular and parallel waveguide part. So as I said, parallel waveguide is just for understanding. Rectangular waveguide is in your syllabus, and the next waveguide is circular waveguides. So we'll do that a bit later. So in the first module, one topic is remaining, and it is a very important one, that is scattering parameters or S parameters. So what are this? We'll see this in today's lecture. Okay. So what are scattering parameters? First of all, why we require them, right? So you have studied various two-port network parameters. What are they? They are impedance parameters. Like they are represented by what? Z. Then you have admittance parameters represented by Y. Then you have transmission parameters represented by A, and you have hybrid parameters as well, right? They are represented by small h, right? And how are they defined? They are usually defined in terms of voltage and currents. So if you take the example of impedance parameters, how are they defined? V1 I1 is a function of V2 comma I2. Now what these 1 and 2 indicate? They indicate the ports. They are for what? Two port network, right? What is a two port network? So if I have a black box, or if I have any sort of network, this is W, I'll have the input side and the output side. So output side is usually named as port 1, input side is usually named as port 1, output is port 2. So that is, I'll have a voltage here V1, V2, here I'll have V1. So current I1 will be flowing here, current I2 will be flowing here, right? So V1 I1 is a function of V2 I2 in this way for this two port network. Similarly here you will have what? I1, V1, it is admittance, right? So what you should get, so whatever it is, I am confused, I'll leave that, right? So similarly we will have for what is it, transmission parameters, ABCD parameters. Then for hybrid we will have V1 I2 is a function of I1 V2, right? So this is what you have studied. So all the parameters, two port network parameters which you have studied so far are based on voltages and currents, right? But which course we are studying? We are studying microwave engineering. And what is the range of microwave, right? It is in the range of gigahertz. So these are called as microwave frequencies, so they are very high, right? So what happens with the problem, or what happens when we use voltages and currents in this range of frequencies? So what happens is a very practical problem happens. What is it? When we try to measure voltages and currents at microwave frequencies, what will happen? The voltages and currents will not give us the accurate value. Why? Because at high frequencies, what we have studied in transmission line, if this is my transmission line, what happens at each and every point on a transmission line? The impedance changes. So we have seen this in transmission line, right? And why does it change? Due to something called as transit time effect. This we have seen again in electromagnetics course. So again, the electromagnetics course is the very basic course. As I had said, that it is mother of all subjects, right? So transit time, because of transit time effect, what happens? The voltage at each and every point is different. So since the voltage at each and every point is different, that is V is different, current will also be different. And since current is different, my impedance will also be different, right? So what will happen? So what will happen? Because of the impedance, I can see it is changing at each and every instant of time, right? So as you are measuring the by voltmeter, for example, it will just keep on changing. So this method fails at microwave frequencies, right? So that is the reason we introduce a new parameter which is called as scattering parameter. So they are abbreviated as S parameters, right? So if for a two port network, if you had a Z matrix, what would be? Z11, Z12, Z21, Z22. So this was my impedance matrix, impedance parameters, right? Similarly, for S matrix will be S11, S21, S21, and S22. Remember, S is capital. Okay. So again, why we use them? because the measurement of voltages and currents is somewhat of an abstraction. It is not convenient to measure voltages and currents at microwave frequencies. So that's why we go to something called as scattering parameters. Okay. And they can be directly measured with a vector network analyzer, abbreviated as VNA. So that is the reason we use scattering parameters. Okay. So how to define these scattering parameters? Let's see that. So what do we do to obtain the relationship between the scattering parameters and the input output powers at different ports? What will we do? We'll consider a junction of n number of transmission lines. Okay. So let me draw that. So these are my ports, and this is any arbitrary network, so I can draw it haphazardly. Okay, so this is my I'll use a different sketch pen. This is my ingoing wave. So let's say this is port 1. So voltage is V1 plus, and some part will be reflected. So we have seen in transmission lines there is something called as reflection coefficient. What is it? V1 minus upon V1 plus. V1 indicates voltage of reflected wave and V1 plus indicates voltage of transmitted wave. So if it is equal to 1, if gamma equal to 1, what does it indicate? 100% of power is reflected. That is, I can say 0% transmitted. I am just revising this. If gamma equal to 0, 0% power reflected, that is 100% transmitted. Right? So this is what is meant by reflection coefficient. So if this is lies between 0 and 1, so if lies between, let's say 0.5, so half of the power will be reflected. So let's say it will be V1 minus. So similarly, I'll have V2 plus, V2 minus. Similarly here, V3 plus going inside, V3 minus coming outside. So this will be V4 plus going inside, V4 minus going outside. Okay, and let's say it is a n port network. Fine. So this will be my Vn plus, this will be my Vn minus. Okay, so this is my arbitrary n port network. Okay, so let's consider this network. So what does Vn plus indicate? We are generalizing it. So let's talk about Vn plus. Vn plus is the amplitude of the voltage wave incident on port n, and Vn minus is the amplitude of voltage wave reflected from port n. Right, and this is my network. So what is this again? Vn plus is the amplitude of incident voltage wave. Vn minus is the amplitude of reflected voltage wave. Remember I said wave. We are talking about microwave frequencies, so we don't have voltages and currents to be precise. We have what? Voltage waves. We don't have only voltages. We call them as voltage wave and incident voltage wave and reflected voltage wave. So we have an electromagnetic wave. Fine. So the scattering matrix is defined in relation to this incident and reflected voltage waves. So how we define? Let me write it. So V1 minus, V2 minus dot dot till Vn minus. So this is my column matrix. So this is equal to the scattering matrix. So S11, S12 dot dot dot, I'll have here S1n, then here S21, then S22, like this dot dot, like this, finally dot dot. Here what will it be? S31, this will be Sn1, and finally here I'll have Sn, and this is equal to incident voltages. So V1 plus, V2 plus dot dot Vn plus. So this is how my scattering matrix gets defined. So if you generalize it, it will be what? V minus matrix equal to the S matrix, which is called as scattering matrix, into V plus. Okay. So if I want to find a specific element, so what it will be? It will be Sij equal to Vi minus upon Vj plus at Vk plus equal to 0, and k should not be equal to j. So this might be very tedious to understand. Okay, so we'll just take a simple example and try to understand. Okay, so you don't have to remember this. You may require this to just write in the exam, but I'll tell you what happens conceptually. So if I have a two-port network, what will be the matrix? It will be S11, S12, S21, S22, right? So if you are trying to substitute here, what will it become? It will become V1, V2 equal to S11, S12, S21, S22. This will be V1 minus V2 minus, this will be V1 plus V2 plus, right? So what will be S11? So I and J are equal. So V1 minus upon V1 plus at K should not be equal to J. So what is remaining? 2. So V2 plus equal to 0. Right? Means what? If I draw the network, this is my two-port network. Right? This will be my V1. This will be my V2. So V1 plus indicates what? Incident. What is it saying? When V2 plus is 0, means if nothing is incident from here. Right? In other words, it means that this is matched. I hope you remember what is matched. ZL equal to Z dot. I will not go into that details. We have discussed this a lot in previous courses. So when this is matched, then only S11 is defined. So that is the definition of this. Okay. Similarly, we can see for S12, S21 and S22. Okay. So this is about the scattering matrix. So what I can say about S11? It is what? Voltage of reflected wave at port 1 upon voltage of incident wave at port 1. So it is nothing but this formula. So I can say S11 is nothing but what? Gamma. So it is what? S11 is always our reflection coefficient, and it is at which port? At port 1. So similarly, if you calculate S22, it will be what? Again gamma, but it will be at port 2. So we can indicate in this way: gamma superscript 2, gamma superscript 1. So S11, S22, S33 are all reflection coefficients at the particular ports. So if I talk about S21, this is very important now. So what will be the definition? If you take from this, so S21 will be Vi. So I is 2. So V2 minus upon V1 plus at Vk plus equal to 0, K not equal to G. So again V2 plus equal to 0. So again V2 plus is 0. Means you have given input from this side. Means V1 plus is there. Means incident voltage is there. Means you have given input from the left side. Right? And no input from here. So what is it doing? So it is a ratio of, this is reflected. So V2 minus is reflected. V1 plus is incident. Right? So it is the ratio of that. So in other words, we can say that it is giving us what? How much power is transmitted. So if you are getting confused about this, what you can do, simple way I'll tell you. We have a two-port network, S11, S12, S21, S22. This you might have understood. This is what? Nothing but gamma at port 1. This is gamma at port 2. Let's first talk about S21. What is S21? It is what? The power going from port 1 to port 2. So S21 is power going from port 1 to port 2. So you have to go like this. So similarly, this will be what? Power going from port 2 to port 1. Right? So I am not writing that. Okay. So still, if you have not understood, let's try to understand it graphically. So let's say I have a power divider. What does a power divider do? Obviously, it will divide power, right? So let's say I take the example of Wilkinson power divider. We have not studied this, but I'll just draw the simplified diagram. So this is my port 1. So I'll write P1. This is my port 2. This is my port 3. And let's say it is a equal power divider. Means what? If I give 10 watts from here I should get 5 watts, here also I should get 5 watts, right? So I'm drawing a S parameter scattering matrix, scattering parameters or S parameters plot. So this is my S11, S21, S31. Okay, so I draw, this is my S11. So I am writing that color here. Then I have S21, S31 represented by same colors. Let's say I have one graph of this. Okay, and I draw one more S parameter graph. So you just think and tell me which is the power divider graph. Okay, so again, so this is my what, S11. Then I have this as S21 and this as S31. Okay, and usually these are given in dB. I forgot to mention that. Okay, so S11 is what, let's say I take the example to explain in dB as gamma. So and gamma is what, V1 minus upon V1 plus, right? Now the thing is, if S11 is usually given in dB, right? So if I, this is in terms of voltage, right? So if I want to find S11 in dB, so what will I do? 20 log S11, right? But if this is expressed as squares of voltage, so it will be what, power? So P1 minus upon P1 plus, right? So in that case I will take 10 log, because for power what we do, we take 10 log. For voltage we take with 20 log, right? So if power is, so let's take this example only. So let's say this is at minus 40 and this is at minus 3 exactly, and this is at 0 and it is in dB. So this is also dB, this is at minus 5 and this is 3, F is in gigahertz. Okay, so let me just calculate before giving this value. 10 raised to minus 0.1 into 5. So let's say this is minus 1.65 and this is minus 5. So I tell you which is the power divider graph, right? So just think over it, if you can think over it. What is happening here? This is S11 and I am designing this power divider for 3 gigahertz operating frequency. Okay, so 3 gigahertz operating frequency. So what is happening? S11 is how much? Minus 40 dB. And usually if you are using any commercial softwares or almost all the softwares, these S parameters will be given in dB and they will be in terms of power. So minus 40 dB will be what in normal scale? So if you don't know, what will it be? 10 log x equal to minus 40. We want in normal scale. So x is represents the normal scale. So log x equal to minus 4. So x is 10 raised to minus 4. So 10 raised to minus 4 is how much? 0.0001, right? And this is what S11 only. So S1 is 0.001, right? This is gamma value at 3 gigahertz. So this is nothing but gamma at port 1. This is how much? 0.0001. So how much percent into 100? Sorry, 0.00001 into 100. So how much is it? 10 raised to minus 3 means only 10 raised to minus 3. 0.0 was how much? 10 raised to minus 4 na? Into 10 raised to minus 4 into 100. Yeah, so 0.001 means only this much percent of the power is reflected. So how much is transmitted? Almost 100% is transmitted, right? And let's say here it is minus 5. So how will you do? It is 10 raised to minus 4 means what? Minus 0.1 into 40. So in the same way 10 raised to minus 0.1 into 5. 0.1 right? So how much is it? 31.6, right? So 31.6% of the power is reflected, so rest is transmitted, right? So it is designed for 3 gigahertz. Here we are getting exactly 100, almost 100, right? Now let's come to S21 and S31. For this case, S21 and S31 is minus 3. So let's calculate in normal scale. So 10 raised to minus 0.1 into 3. How much is it? 0.5. So 0.5 means how much? 50% into 100 if you do. Means 50% of the power is reflected. So 50% power is transmitted, right? So that's what we want. So this is the graph for this network. So this is what a equal power divided, right? So minus 3 dB indicates equal power is divided, and 3 at 3 gigahertz, right? Strictly speaking, it will not be like this. It will be somewhat, the graph will be somewhat like this. So at 3 gigahertz, it will have around minus 3 dB. Okay. So here also power is divided, but it is unequal, right? So this is how S parameters are used. They are very important, so you should understand them. Okay. So this is about S parameters. So now let's take a numerical and then we'll conclude the lecture. So it is find S parameters of 3 dB attenuator shown below. Okay, so this is the network. This is given as port 1. This is given as port 2. This is 8.56 ohms. This is also 8.56 ohms. This is 141.8 ohms. What we have to find? S parameters means S11, S12, S21 and S22. So we already know S11 is reflection coefficient at port 1, right? So by definition of S parameters, that will write S11 is what? Gamma at port 1. So gamma at port 1 is what? Otherwise, if you want the formula, it is V1 minus upon V1 plus at V2 plus equal to 0, right? So it is equal to gamma at port 1 at V2 plus equal to 0. So what is it? Gamma का formula क्या है? Zin minus Z0 upon Zin plus Z0, right? So Z0 is not given, so you assume it as 50 ohms. Okay, so for that we require Zin. So Zin at port 1. So at port 1, what is the input impedance? From here, this is will be my Zin at port 1, right? So it will be, and this is what, in this case it is terminated with 50 ohms, right? Terminated with a match load means what? Match load is usually taken as 50 ohms because the transmission line characteristic impedance is also 50 ohms, so it will correctly match with this. So 8.56 in series with this combination. So 8.56 plus 141.8, right? This is in parallel with this. So this into this combination, these two are in series, right? So into 8.56 plus 50, right? So I'll directly write 141.8 into 58.56 upon 141.8 plus 58.56. So how much it is? It is nothing but 50 ohms only. So S11 is, sorry, what I got is Zin. So Zin at port 1 is 50 ohms. I have not written the equation, so you directly write it. Right? So what will be S11? Right? So S11 is 0. Right? So this is in normal scale, remember. Right? So S11 is 0 means what? Gamma is 0 means what? 0% of the power is reflected, right? Means 100% is transmitted, right? So next we have to find, and if you see, if I give this as input from this side, this is not there in the question, or if I terminate this and give input from this side, it is the same network, it is symmetric. So S11 equal to S22 equal to 0, right? So next what we have to do, we have to find S12 and S22. S21, right? So how to find that? Just think over it. So again, because of the symmetry of the network, we can say S12 equal to S21, right? So let's find S21. So S21 will be what? By definition, which we saw, V2 minus upon V1 plus at V2 plus equal to 0. Means again, V2 plus equal to 0 means again it should be terminated by 50 ohms, right? And what is V1? We know from our basic electromagnetics course, it is incident wave plus reflected wave. So V1 plus plus V1 minus. Similarly, what is V2? V2 plus plus V2 minus. Now what we have seen, S11 is 0, means nothing is reflected, means V1 minus is 0, right? Similarly, V2 plus is 0 because we are calculating S21, right? So what we have, V1 equal to V1 plus, V2 equal to V2 minus. So this is what we have, and we have to find S21, right? So basically we have to find V2 because S21 is V2 minus upon V1 plus at V2 plus equal to 0, right? So somehow we need to find V2. So what is V2? V2 is voltage across this. Just sketch pen. Yeah. So this is my V2, right? Voltage across 50 ohms. So what will it be? You can use which rule from your basic BW or network theory? Voltage division rule. So V2 will be, see now these are two loops. So total voltage you cannot take directly V1, right? Because if you are taking, let's say this is 2 ohms, this is 3 ohms, this is 5 volts. So you are finding voltage across 3 ohms. What do you do? Total voltage into same resistor across which you are finding the voltage, 3 ohms upon 3 plus 2, right? But here there are two loops, right? So actually the voltage, total voltage will be this one, Vx somewhere, right? So how will we calculate this? So actually first we need to find Vx, right? Because for this loop, this is the, for this loop, this is the voltage, total voltage. So Vx is what, right? And again it should be what? The voltage across the resistor which you are finding. So you are finding across this. So actually this whole loop should come. This is by definition of voltage division rule. So if you don't know the definition, just go through the basics. So we'll come to know that if we are trying to find Vx, it will be this complete loop. So what is the combination? These two are in series, and that series combination is in parallel with this. So 141.8 inverse plus addition is 58.56 inverse. So how much is it? 41.44. So 41.44 upon 41.44 plus this. So 41.44 into 8.5 plus 8.56 into the total voltage for Vx is V1, right? So what will be V2? It will be Vx into 50 upon 50 plus 8.56. So if you calculate this, you will get V2 as 0.707 V1. You just calculate, you will get V2 this value. This is 41, right? So what is S21? V2 minus upon V2 plus means V2 upon V1 plus only, right? And V1 plus is V1, so V2 by V1 is 0.707 and it is equal to S12, so it is 0.707, right? So we have found out all the S parameters. So in the exam we will write matrix X equal to whatever are the 4 values, right? And this is a very important sum. It has repeated many times in the exam. So just an intriguing case. So if you calculate, this is what we have used. S12, S21 is what? Voltage. In terms of voltage we have got. So we should take 20 log 0.707. So how much is it? Minus 3 dB. Right? So if we convert this to power terms, 10 raised to minus 0.1 into 0.1 into 3. So how much? 0.5 means 50% power. right? Means this is what again a power divider circuit, right?